Taken into questioning by Ramsey and her team, Everett, Blake, Luna, and Harlan construct an alibi. Luna and Harlan make a startling discovery when they defend Everett from their first terrifying sighting of the creature. Hello, entertainment enthusiasts. This is Ray, and this is the Fandom Realm. And today I am reviewing episode 3 of Wolfpack. As always, spoilers abound, so just be aware. Now, before I get started, I do just want to say thank you for all the success on the first 2 episodes of Wolfpack. I just thank you so much on that. And with that, hopefully we can keep going forward, and all of our videos will take a step forward for Wolfpack. I'm going to try to keep doing a video as long as they don't get kicked off the channel. With that, I am playing a little bit with the format here. I'm going to shorter clips and hopefully a little more talking and not just recapping what happened in the episode. Although I will be doing a little review afterwards along with a rating. So with that, let's get started. Here's Wolfpack episode 3. So now as we get into this episode, I do want to do just a quick recap. And of course, last week we saw that Ramsey had gotten Everett. He was out searching for Connor, couldn't find him. And then the deputy had also gotten Harlan and Luna, and they were headed out presumably for questioning. And of course, I can't stand her deputy. Not sure what's going on with him. So this episode starts in a construction area, and it's going to be a pretty spooky little episode here. These 4 kids from the bus, the one, Austin, I thought was supposed to be dead, but I guess not. But apparently they are being stalked by the wolf, and they're hearing things, and, well, they just never see the wolf. And so there's this spooky point right here where the one girl is looking down through the hole and the wolf hand is right there. We're going to flash up, and the guy, Austin, has his back to the shade, and we see a shadow of a wolf. And so really, I thought we were going to lose some people here. I thought there was going to be some dead students, and I'm a little disappointed there weren't, especially that girl. But they're going to look out. The girl had her location on, and the cops are going to come. And they don't understand how much they just got saved by those cops right now. If that girl had not had her location on, so her dad was looking for her, they were probably all dead, or at least a couple of them, the girl especially. So we come up, and Ramsey and her partner are taking the 4 in for questioning. They are just sort of chattering back and forth in the SUV, as she is actually listening. Of course, Everett has some issues with, some mental issues here, anxiety issues, and so they're sort of observing Blake take care of him. Of course, she's got experience doing that with her little brother, if you'll remember. Of course, her little brother has autism, and she helps calm him down when things are happening, and so that's sort of where she comes in here. So they get to basically headquarters here, and we get to see a quick episode with Luna and a horse. Of course, she had that nightmare, and we don't really know much more about it. They're heading upstairs, and as they do, they're seeing all the chaos around. Basically, Harlan has good hearing, wolf hearing, so he's hearing everything that's going on, and he's going to pass probably one of his hookups right here. I think that might be the brother that they're talking about later in the episode. Now, here they're going to try to put together a story, and it's just some stupid story about smoking pot, and with that, I don't know if they could have really pulled it off. They're teenagers. They don't really know each other. But Sarah Michelle Gellar, our dear Ramsey, is going to get them in separate rooms. She's going to go start questioning Everett, and she's going to basically use her experience as having anxiety issues as well. And so with that, she's hoping he's going to help talk. Only problem here is he starts to make up the answers, and he's going to hear Harlan. Everett has gotten Harlan's ability to hear. And so they're going to realize that, and they're going to try to work together. Of course, Blake also has that hearing, and so does Luna. But, of course, Everett's going to screw everything up because he's still worried about Connor, and Ramsey really isn't for the most part. They're also talking about the anxiety here, and I thought this was very interesting what they're talking about. The anxiety was a threat response to back in when we were cave people sleeping and being worried about being eaten at night. Now we get reintroduced to this police officer, which I don't know why he's being such an ass, but I was really glad that Garrett came in here and pulled him off of Harlan. And, of course, we're going to see him back a little bit later. The girl, I can never remember her name. She's going to be stuck in her car because basically all 4 of her tires get slashed. And she's sitting in this car sort of watching it happen, but she can't see who's doing it. She calls her dad. She's actually going to end up trying to drive home on rims. Now, Garrett actually is going to pull Luna and Harlan out to take them home, and Ramsey just wants to question them, but basically Luna's going to tell her dad that he needs to take them as well because they are like her and Harlan. Now, they're going to leave, and as they do, they are actually going to all be driving to Harlan and Luna's house to Garrett's, and they're going to again be discussing the werewolf here, and Garrett admits that he saw the wolf, and it's why he got lost across the fire line. And I thought this was a big moment when Garrett was actually admitting that this may be the wolf that is Harlan and Luna's dad. Love this where Ramsey tells that horrible cop basically to stop, or he's going to be off the task force. I mean, he had really been being a jerk to Harlan for some reason. I don't know what's going on there. I thought maybe first there was some type of bad relationship there, but they don't seem to really know each other. So I'm going to be interested to see if there was some bad blood there. So we get back to the house, and they're going to again start discussing what was going on. They are really going to end up seeing Garrett go in and talk about the fact that Harlan and Luna aren't like the other two because they are born wolves. Basically, the other two are bitten. And I think this might be the first time he told them they were wolves when he found them on the full moon, or at least something about the full moon. Now, as they're talking, we're going to get another one of these hallucinations. And this one is Garrett basically with Blake. It doesn't turn out to be anything. And then we get to hear the blonde from the car. She is really giving Harlan out on the phone. And she had to go home and drive on 3 rims. And we find out that Harlan had slept with her boyfriend. And so with that, we get to see the cop is, I guess, stalking probably Harlan. Our group, again, is discussing basically the superpowers. And they're coming to the idea that they all have certain powers and they can come together, which is unique. And so they're talking about, I guess, Harlan has hearing, Luna has smell, Blake has speed, and Everett has strength because he broke that beam in an earlier episode. So I really enjoyed them talking about all that and figuring it out. I thought that was a good point in the episode. And then Luna is going to smell something, and basically Harlan is going to confirm that there is something there. Now, they're going to be a little freaked out here. There's something outside the door. We're going to get some of that nice horror action as we're going to get a nice shot of the door here. And eventually, of course, there's going to be a loud knock on the door. Now, of course, they think it is the werewolf, and they actually say that the first time any of them use the word werewolf. But it's that horrible officer, and he wants somebody to come out and talk to him. I just don't understand what he has in this. He looks so sinister, like he would be the werewolf, maybe. But I just don't see why he's so crazy over Harlan. We get another hallucination here between Blake and Everett, and then it gets pretty hot for the two of them. Again, I don't know what these hallucinations are. My assumption is they're part of the full moon. So the officer is getting pretty rough with our boy Harlan here, and he's telling him he didn't have anything to do with the fire. And there comes the werewolf, who tackles the officer, and he's going to basically drag him into the forest. Now, Harlan actually calls Garrett here, and Garrett sends him out to get a gun out of the outdoor building. And I think we probably all thought that might be some type of gun with a silver bullet. So the officer's out in the woods, and he gets to see a nice big silhouette of our werewolf. And again, I'm glad they're using that werewolf. Basically, he breaks his arms and kills the officer here. Pretty violent little death. Again, love to see that. I mean, this is full of horror. That's just a gruesome death. He basically squeezed his head to death. And so with that, we basically get to see Harlan and Luna are in the shed. They find the ammunition. They find the gun. They realize that it's a silver bullet. Basically, we're going to flash back out front of the house, and the werewolf is actually there, and he is there on Everett, and he's going to be in Everett's face. We get to see his muzzle, and he has those big teeth, and that Everett is just freaked out. But then he leaves. And so that's going to be big. Now, he left because Harlan shot at him and may have hit him. I'm not sure. He ran off, so I'm not sure if he hit him or not. And so they're going to start discussing why he didn't kill them. And, of course, Luna says, hey, we're part of its pack. We're connected. Now, Garrett comes back into the house, and he is going to see all four teenagers sitting there on the couch, and Harlan holds up the silver bullet and asks, basically, or at least Luna will ask, if the bullets were made to kill Harlan and Luna, and Garrett answers yes. And I mean, I was holding my breath when he said that, but you knew that's what he was going to say. That's the only reason to have those bullets. Okay. And that ends this section of the video. Now, with that, I'm going to go into a very short recap here. I know I always say that and I end up going way long, but I really only have a few things to talk about here. And the first thing is just how much I'm loving this show. I didn't know in the first episode there was a lot of world building, and it sort of is a little bit of a slow build. But with the horror and the mystery element with it, I've really been interested in it. In the last couple episodes, I think it's just been building and building building and building, and we're getting to see this evil werewolf, or at least some type of silhouette of it. The werewolf is actually a character. It's not like it's sort of in the background. Along with that, basically you have a situation, the overall show, I really like it. It's almost a horror mystery type show, which I think a lot of people would be surprised that Jeff Davis does that so well. I think he needs to make a horror mystery, just a regular show for television, and see what happens, because he's really good at the creepy parts and scary parts. And, I really wish we had a little bit of a body count on dead bodies so far, though. Maybe the only thing I'm missing. I'm going to tell you, I'm going to react also. I've read a lot of people hating on this show so far, and I'm just asking you, if you hate on this show and you're listening to my voice right now, I want you to put in the comments what you hate about it. Okay? Just put what you hate about it, because I just don't see it. I absolutely am loving it so far, and I've seen the biggest criticism is that it's boring. What in the hell is boring about it? I have been on the edge of my seat the entire time from when this series started all the way through this episode. And the fact you've got this werewolf running around, you people are crazy. But please, do tell me in the comments why you hate this if you're listening to this right now. Now, the other couple of things I just want to go over really quickly. The first, I've already mentioned actually the horror and mystery element to it. That is awesome. Big check mark there. We did get to see a little more of Sarah Michelle Gellar's character here as Kristen Ramsey. I want to see more of that, though. I'm still wondering what in the world is she doing? Okay. Why is she there? She doesn't seem to have a place. Is she maybe she's a werewolf too? And maybe the kids are her cubs. And then you have the other werewolf and he's the dad. I mean, I don't know. But she doesn't seem to be there for a reason, really, to me. But I love Sarah Michelle Gellar, so hey, they did have an increased screen time for her today, and more lines, and I liked what she said, and I liked how she tried to help Everett out and at least sort of make him feel like she would be someone who would help him. Now, along with that, also, I'm loving the chemistry between these four. Of course, I'm gonna call them teenagers, but we know they're not teenagers in real life, but the cast teenagers. I think that is growing as the series is moving along, and part of that's because we're seeing more of them and they are together more. And I think they cast a very good four people for these parts, and I want to see them take them a little bit farther, step a little bit ahead. Jeff, this is we're not PG here. We can get a little PG-13 with these relationships, a little PG-13, R-rated. Like I said, this isn't MTV that's just on Monday night for all the kids. Okay. And that goes with some of these deaths too. Love the death of the sheriff. Okay. That was awesome. Or the whatever he was, the deputy, and couldn't have happened to a nicer guy, to be quite honest. So I'm glad he's gone. And then of course, also love the werewolf. Yes, it's a cheap CGI werewolf, but I don't really care. You never see anything but cheap CGI werewolves. And so with that, let's have fun with this one. So with all that being said and done, I do need to give a grade to this episode. I'm going to give it probably another B+. Okay, it's a really good episode, about the same as the last episode. So we've got good improvement. I give it a B+. All right, everyone. It's time to get out of here now. So basically, you know the deal. Please subscribe to the channel, like the video, comment below, and I'll see you next time on the Fandom Realm.